All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Retail Riches. I'm your host, Christian, and today I have Jacob Mullins, huge real estate investor, does a ton of deals. Like we're saying, like 1 to 5 deals a week. Crazy. Yeah, so I brought him to tell him, a little bit about himself and how he got into real estate, and tell his story. Great to have you on. Thanks, man. Yeah. And so
good to see you.
Yeah, likewise, dude.
Went out and had a nice steak last night, so it was good. Right on
Always Halls, man, never fails.
That's right.
Yeah, so let's tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, take us back to kind of, give us a little backstory. Where are you from?
Sure. Grew up outside of Chicago, Illinois, a place called Elgin. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's northwest of the city. And I pretty much grew up. My father was a plumber. My mom was a nurse. So I grew up always thinking that I was going to be a plumber.
Yeah.
And that's how. And I'm looking back at it, I'm happy I did. But started off as a plumber, 2006, I had an uncle that was buying and selling properties, and he asked me to come to work for him as like an acquisition guy, so that was kind of my first job. I was an acquisition guy. I was a realtor. Went back and forth to Atlanta, so 2 weeks in Atlanta and then 2 weeks in Myrtle Beach. When I was in Myrtle Beach, I was just getting started in real estate, so I had to do plumbing side jobs.
And that,
in the morning, at night, just kind of anything I could do to make it when you first get started. As when you first get started, man, it's not like you just clock in and you're making a bunch of money right away.
No.
It takes a little bit of time. So where I was at in Atlanta, interesting enough, is it was in the thick of the hood, man. So it was called Bankhead or the Bluffs.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta. It was where the old Georgia Dome was. And I was actually required to live in the thick of it, like for 2 weeks out of every month. And what I did is this is something funny too. So where I stayed at night, every night, first of all, you hear gunshots at any moment in time. I could easily access a crack rock, a hooker, and a 40. Very easy. They're like rogue pit bulls just rolling down the street. It's just there was some wild stuff. Like I'd be out there, and I was just getting started. I really didn't know what we were doing, but we were buying these houses for like $5-10 grand, trying to renovate them.
Oh, wow.
And the idea was lease them out or sell them, And at first, the stuff in Myrtle Beach was doing good. Stuff in Atlanta was doing good. But it took a while to get like reliable contractors. And once we actually did get this thing lifted off the ground, you would have guys that would come in there and strip the place out. So we'd be rewiring houses 2 to 3 times. They would take your AC, you have to cage everything. Like literally one time I was at the house and I heard somebody trying to break in the house. It was wild, man. It was wild. It was like the Wild West over there.
Yeah.
But and that was actually more toward 2008, 2009. I was promised back-end equity in the company. So around 2006, I just got started. Around 2008, 2009 is when I kind of started this whole venture. And basically I worked for about $20 a day, which is pretty much free,
Yeah.
And they did pay for your meals. They had this stock food in the fridge and stuff like that.
So where were you staying? Were you staying on
one of the houses? One of the houses we renovated, and it was actually really cool. They put a rooftop deck on it.
Oh.
And you could see the skyline of Atlanta. It was sick. So yeah, it was kind of cool. So, but
too bad it was. But the area probably wasn't choice.
Yeah.
Especially going back to Myrtle Beach.
That's right. Myrtle Beach is a lot better than where I was staying in Atlanta. Atlanta had a lot of cool places, but this was pretty rough. But anyway, back end equity of the company is what I was supposed to get. And as you know, crash happened, got smashed up, and pretty much chalked it up to going to college. So worked about 2 years for free on that. Learned a lot. I was like cold calling banks, which you could buy directly from banks just by cold calling them.
Oh, wow.
Putting up bandit signs, mailing letters. We had our own in-house folding machine. We would print out the letters, and just slam them out. It was pretty cool. So happy to learn it, went through it.
You did the old school,
That's right.
I mean, a lot of people have it easy nowadays. You can go on, pull a list, and all this, and
there was none of that.
Yeah. Old school. Actually sending out each letter. Were you writing them?
No. So we would print them out, and then we would send them through this folding machine. Pitney Bowes, man, had this folding machine where you kind of just bust them through there, and then you just ship them out, man. Just regular mail.
So what happened after 08, I guess? I mean,
so 08 got smashed, lost. I invested in 4 properties with my uncle, lost them all, lost everything I had, sucked. Got pretty much a huge dick kick. And after that, it was just trying to survive, man. So what I did is I started a property management company.
Okay.
Everyone had a huge problem. The problem they had was they couldn't sell their houses. A lot of times it was second house. People were kind of forced to become landlords. So I went up to them and I was like, listen, let me rent your house and you can try to rent it yourself. But if I rent it before you rent it, you owe me 1 month's rent. And on top of that, if I manage it for you, it'll be 10% a month. So I went all up and down Myrtle Beach, tried to, get as many of these houses as I could. And it was kind of easy because I was basically solving a huge problem. All these people were bleeding out. They couldn't sell their house. They paid too much for it. It's a bad situation. Here, I'm just looking to ease the bleeding. And that turned into growing something big. It was me and a buddy of mine. We started in the back of a warehouse. And then I got an assistant, and then it just grew from there. After that, I started kind of looking at the courthouse sales.
Okay.
So I would go and I would just study, and I would just watch what people bought. I watched what they sold it for, and I would always talk to the guys in there and everything like that, get to know them. And then, so I had all their numbers. And then what I would try to do is I'm like, listen, man, I saw they're buying really good deals after I followed it a little bit, and I was a realtor as well. I was like, let me try to sell that property for you. So what I would do is I would take pictures of it. I would market it on Craigslist, back in the day. And then I get buyers like that. So these guys were loving me because where I was at in Myrtle Beach, you could put 5% down, probably the same out here.
Okay.
In Columbia. It's because it's still South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So you put 5% down, you have 30 days to either figure out how to assign that contract or close on it. For me, it was assign that contract because I had zero fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So I did that I would sell their deals and I'd make a little commission on it. So they would say, hey, I want 100. I just work out, sell it for 105, just put my commission on top.
Yeah.
Or whatever I could hustle. And then I got enough money after doing that for a little bit to finally put my own deposit down in the courthouse. I remember it, man, just like it was yesterday. It was crazy. This was some renegade shit. So I was freaking out and I was bidding on this double wide, total dog, man. It was just a piece of shit, but it was an okay neighborhood. It was in Conway, South Carolina. I put my 5% down, which is I don't know, I don't remember. I got it for 20 something grand, right? It was 20 something grand. So I had to put 5% down. Wasn't too much, but that was all I kind of really had. So I was like, I got 30 days to sell this thing. I better get to fucking work. So yeah, I straight up just started knocking on all the doors in the neighborhood of this place and, all the neighbors and everything. And it was a nice place. People took care of their stuff. And I was like, any of you guys want to buy this? I'm asking $50,000, and it's got to be cash and you got to close in less than 30 days. And sure enough, man, I found 2 people that actually both would give me $50,000 for it. So I was like, you're going to have to, just let me know how high you're willing to go. Cause I got another offer on the property and it ended up selling for $53,000. I was like, oh my God, I got this thing closed and my whole life changed. And then I was on. I was like, boom, boom. I got money to put deposits down and I'm slamming, down flinging. And it just spiraled from there. Eventually had somebody that saw what I was doing and said, hey, if you ever need any funding for some deals, I'd be willing to put up some money. And then it really got real because then I had some money behind her and it was
that starts creating some momentum.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
And so, I mean, you kept the property management company.
Yep, that was core.
Kept wholesaling deals and buying them.
Realtor too.
Yeah. Oh, and an active realtor.
Wow,
absolutely,
man. Yep.
So you're, working like crazy,
dude. You got to, man.
Yeah.
During those times, man, it was like you better be pushing hard. It's which would be interesting to see what happens in the future. I think we're running into some interesting times. I think people are going to have to work 4 times as hard to get the same amount of deals that they're getting the last several years.
Oh, for sure. And you got to get more and more creative. It's not as easy
Not as easy.
Now you're starting to run into where in the past it wasn't like that, but a lot more institutional investors that are owning a lot of deals.
Yeah.
They're out just
They've slowed down.
stuff.
Are they still active out here?
Like Next Door, all those kind of
Open Door.
Open Door, that's it.
Yeah. So Open Door, OfferPad, a lot of these hedge funds, they're done, dude. Market toasted them out, man.
They were struggling. I mean, when I first started here, I was getting into the property management, and they all had like 40, 50 properties on the market that were just sitting. Beautiful. They did a great job. Like, they did a great job, but they couldn't sell it.
Yeah. And Zillow, they lost tons of money on that whole iBuyer program. So that was nuts. I mean,
oh yeah, Zillow just ate shit on that.
Dude, I made so much money with them over the last couple of years, man. We were wholesale. Literally, I would go on to, it was so easy. I'd go on to Zillow. This is no bullshit, bro. I would go on to Zillow. I would tie a property up that was 95% of what it's worth, right? I would sell to them for 110% of what it's worth. And if it fit their criteria, they bought it. I literally would do that. I went to my buddy and I was like, hey, Brandon's my right-hand dude, acquisition guy. I was like, watch this, dude. I'm going to tie up property on Zillow and freaking sling it to a hedge fund. And they were just buying so much. It was crazy, man. It was super cool.
They just thought it was never going to end, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. But you know what? Looking back at it, they locked in all those super cheap rates. And since they bought all that stuff, it went way up. So, I mean, even they were paying up for it, but they had a good strategy. I guess always follow what those guys are doing.
Yeah.
Just look at it and analyze it.
Yeah, I mean, because to some level they had success, right? I mean, they weren't doing that and not making a bunch of money. Like
that's right.
Still killed it.
They killed it for sure.
That's awesome, man. I mean, would you say, other than like your hustle and your work ethic, was there anything else that's kind of like defining principles on your career? I mean, growing your portfolio and running all these businesses. Is there anything that you kind of like live and die by?
So, man, you got to do the work. There is no it's funny. I know some people that they're always chasing that next easy deal. Like, oh man, I'm going to do this e-commerce thing. I'm going to make all this money. By the way, did that. God, I lost 50 grand on that deal. But there's always this shiny thing that people are going to, go after and see if it's going to make all this money really quick. Dude, overnight success, it takes 15 years. You got to grind. You got to be in it, man. And eventually work on getting yourself on a different level where you're looking at it from the ceiling, it's just, there is no quick button to real estate. A lot of people over the last couple of years got really, really rich. It'd be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years. So, I mean, dude, you have to be strong. You have to pivot. You have to make sure that you're on your game. You're paying attention to the market every single day, and don't make a big mistake. Stay alive. Till 2025, right?
Dude, this is gonna be a scary next couple of years.
There's gonna be opportunities. There's gonna be millions made and millions lost. For sure. I want to be on the side that's making it.
Oh, dude, right? I mean, that's it. You don't want to be on that, man. It's because it's kind of scary. There's a lot of people that had these bridge loans and all these products that sounded really good at the time because they didn't think rates were gonna go up. Yeah. 5-6%, or points. It changes the game, man.
Changes the game, man. But I'll tell you, bro, I know right where I'm going to be. I'm going to be just sticking. I'm going to be wholesaling my 1 to 5 a week. I'm going to be slowly cherry picking key assets over the next 24 months. And I'm ready, dude. I've got the capital to do what I need to do, even, with or without the banks.
That's awesome.
I think right now, huge focus, raise capital. Get to know people that can come up with some money. Yeah. Or get a good relationship with your bankers, make sure they know that what you're looking to do, see what type of, loan that you can get from them, and maybe use a private investor to bridge the gap. Yeah. And the assets, right? I think the money's easy, man.
Right. I mean, if you have a deal, if it's actual deal, then it's
money's
easy. Yeah. That's the easy part.
That's right.
Yeah. Everyone's looking to place it somewhere. There's always so many people out there that are looking for a deal.
That's right.
if it even like remotely makes sense, it's a lot simpler. So key is find yourself a deal.
Find a deal.
And don't send those shit off of like LoopNet or Zillow. Those.
So ironically enough, you can get deals on LoopNet.
Yeah.
You just have to see what other people don't. And you don't be scared to sling a low ball offer. There was a property just this morning. I called my broker up and it just hit the market and it was listed for like, it's an 8-unit building, Winston-Salem.
Okay.
Just listed for, I think like $895 or something. And it's too much. But I was like, bro, I called him out. I'm like, sling $550 cash. I was like, sign it, send it over. Let's see what happens. I'm not scared to throw somebody a lowball offer.
Yeah.
I will throw you a dick kick. I am not scared. I 100% do not give a fuck what you think. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to get a deal. So the reason they put it on the market because they want to sell it. I'm probing motivation, you know?
Hey, I mean, how motivated are you? You know?
Yeah, that's right. And if I get 100 no's to get to one yes, so be it, man. Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's funny because I'll talk to people and they send like a LoopNet property and I'm like, come on, man. Like, you know, and it's like, yeah, okay. Same thing. Put an offer in for, 50% of what they're asking. And then it makes sense,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess LoopNet is, it can work, but
it can work. Most of the time it won't. But you know what? I think if you're a beginner and you just want to start doing the actions, pull a property on LoopNet and send them a low offer. See what happens.
Worst thing I can say is no.
That's right. I don't know. 50% is the one, but I'm just trying it. I don't care. It took me all 5 minutes, so I'm like, hell with it.
Yeah. And so, like, how are you looking to? I mean, it sounds like still, full speed ahead. But was there any kind of like shift in your business model or how you're buying stuff?
So it's definitely wholesale more. Wholesale more, flip only good properties because I believe you need to wholesale flip properties in order to get into commercial assets. You have to do that. You just need to. You'll go broke if you do nothing but just buy commercial assets. And I know that's predominantly like when you're getting started, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of other income. Your other income was you were a body guy, right?
Yeah.
So you did body work. You had to have something to segue kind of in there. Eventually you can break that off, but it's good to have some sort of money because it can be a year before you make money if you buy like, a big building or big apartment building. You make an acquisition fee, but it's tough, man.
For sure.
You can't eat solely on that always.
Oh, no. It's not. It doesn't. Yeah, for sure. You definitely got to have, kind of something else in the works. Yeah. So same, I've wholesaled a couple of deals just to kind of like, just keep income going. Not really. I don't know if I want to do that long term, but yeah, it's and definitely in the beginning you need to do something. Yeah, you can't try to take every single one down. It's not how it works.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I know.
I mean, it'd be nice, right?
Like to keep them all, man. I get it.
Yeah. So wholesale more, and I mean, really just picking like the screamers, right?
I cherry pick all the best stuff. So I was listening to this podcast, and Warren Buffett said something that was super cool, and I think this will be available coming in the next 12 to 24 months. So it's better to buy it's better to buy a great asset at a fair price as opposed to buying a fair asset at a great price. So like I would say right now I'm looking for the trophies to keep, awesome buildings and the awesome locations. And I think that'll come in the next 12, 24 months. And I'm still buying good deals for cash flow, but I'm looking for a couple of those cherries to pick up over the next 2 years.
Yeah. Those the more legacy plays, more like,
that's right.
Just never sell these.
Never sell.
Yeah.
I've already got a couple of them, and I'd definitely like to have a couple more.
Yeah. I mean, so what are you looking for as far as cash flow? Like, what's that like? I know you do a lot more like residential stuff, just, that 1 to 5 a week. So what are you looking for on the ones that you're holding?
What I'm holding, it needs to be good locations, and I need to be able to make close to that 15 to 20%.
Okay.
That is what I'm looking to make.
Oh,
really,
is that equity or is that
20% on the money that I have invested in the deal? So if I got to put 20, 25% down, I want to make 15 to 20%. If it's more greater, that would be awesome. But 15 to 20% return, I'm hammering down.
Okay. I mean, what kind of cash flow? Or are you not so worried about that?
Cash flow as much as possible. It just depends on the asset.
Yeah.
It really just depends. Lately, I like buildings like kind of close to downtown, multifamily, that I can do Airbnb out of. But they need to be able to work both ways. Because you never know what the regulations, like if some people buy these houses, and then, you get a bomb drop that, hey, no more Airbnb is allowed in this area. So you got to be careful with that too. But I like, like 1 to 2 bedrooms in a building that I can do Airbnb with. It seems to be doing good. I love mobile home parks. Yeah. My mobile home park is just like, I'm molding this beautiful, cash flowing, awesome piece of land, and it is just wonderful. So working on another mobile home park right now. I'm not even scared of like a small office. I think there'll be a lot of good opportunities with that. Small office.
For sure.
I think there's a demand for that,
They're definitely there.
Dude, I was looking at where we're having this podcast. This place is awesome. I would love to create something like this. Also, what I think is cool is maybe like find a building downtown and make it like a food hall. I kind of think that would be interesting. I want to like create and make places better too.
Yeah.
So I think that would be cool.
Food hall ideas. There's one in Charlotte. There's a couple in Atlanta. And they're amazing.
They're cool. Eventually, I right now it's mainly for me. I like multifamily. Multifamily. Even the smaller stuff like 50 and less.
Yeah. So you're really looking for those like mom and pop sellers
that we're looking to exit. That's right. I got teams that come in. We can smash out the renovation, make them beautiful, raise the rents, and that's what I'm into. It takes a year and a half, and then it feels good.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. I mean, so are you looking to kind of transition from like not really hold on to houses much and then moving more into multifamily?
100%. I'm not even buying houses right now unless, I say that if it's just stupid, I'm going to buy it. But or I buy houses to Airbnb as long as they work both ways.
Yeah.
But I would say that my primary focus is on bigger assets where I make more money.
Yep. Just easier. Less moves, right?
Less moves.
Yeah. And still are you planning to keep scaling the wholesale business? And
I am. So it's kind of like I have a team in place for it. We're automatically doing deals with or without me. I love my team. I love the organization that, how we can all work together and win. It is a grind. It's tough. Honestly, there's some months where we are doing awesome. There's some months where, we make very little, to be honest with you. But as a whole, it's good. Just marketing is heavy. And what I found in this market right now, I'm spending the same amount of marketing that I always have and getting less deals. And my deals that I get, my margins are getting squeezed. So it's, just like I talked about earlier, I just got to figure out, really dial into marketing, really dial into my KPIs, figuring out where my money is best spent in the different marketing channels.
Yeah. Because, everything's gone up.
Everything's gone up.
To send letters, it's gone up significantly, man.
Everything.
It's not the same game it was,
And your return's less.
Yeah.
Mine is. There could be different parts of the world that are different. Where I'm at, Greensboro, North Carolina, we got a flood of people that are really marketing hard in that area.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same here. It's a similar market.
It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot with residential. That game there, there's so many YouTube, guys that are just posting, you can wholesale stuff and like, and it's great, but then it makes it tough, man.
I get it. They see one video and they think they're a cowboy, man.
And then a lot of what happens is they piss a lot of sellers off, right? Like,
because they'll back out.
Dude, and then you send one and they're like,
well, I got this.
It's not effective,
Mm-hmm.
You throw a lower offer and it's like, now you're in a bid war. Do you want to do the deal? You want to keep doing deals?
Yep, that's right, man.
And once you build a team, you kind of have to keep doing deals.
You got to keep doing deals. Yeah, that is the thing. You do have to.
You want your guys to keep eating,
And my team has grown, so I got to do more deals.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. I like it because it generates stuff that I get to look at. And I can cherry pick. If there's one that I like, I'm able to pick it. I still got to pay the team. Because everybody works on it. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I guess over the next couple of what is everyone saying, 12 to 24 months. What is kind of like key things that you're looking for in the market to confirm like your the assumptions or your assumptions on this trend? Are there anything like are you looking for interest rates to keep raising? Are you looking for any economic trends?
War would have an impact. War would have an impact. So I think that there's some stuff going on right now that
we seen it last night.
Yeah, we saw the parade over there. They're all fired up.
Yeah,
which is what's happening is just terrible. But
for sure,
it is what it is. I think you can observe what's going on in the rest of the world, but I do know this: if I stay focused and I continue to push forward when everyone else is worried about everything else, I'm going to be getting deals.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to focus, dude. You have to focus right now more than anything. You look at the market, pay attention to what's trading, meet as many people as possible, develop awesome relationships with brokers. Brokers have been such a great resource, and develop deep relationships with brokers.
Yeah.
Brokers can bring you a lot of deals that even if you cold call the same guy, they just trust the broker, man. It's the wildest thing. They're the gatekeepers. So if I were to get started and I could do one thing, I would just get awesome relationships with brokers. And you got to prove it to them that you can perform. Yeah. And if you tie something up, die before you pull out.
Yeah.
Because you're dead at that point. As long as it makes sense, you have to close that deal. If you did your due diligence and you show them that, hey, man, they presented this deal at X, but it's actually performing at here, a little bit lower, I think they'll understand that. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, hey, man, I agree with you. We'll get the next one. Yeah. So I think, you have to make deep relationships. You got to take them out, buy them a bottle of tequila if they drink tequila. If they got kids, maybe ask about their kids. They got a dog, ask about their dog, get them some cool treats or something to next time you see them, just drop by the office, stay in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big thing right now, man.
For sure. Well, because they're going to be the ones that get that first call when they sold it or when they were even a part of it at all. Like they're going to be that first one. They're
exactly, and they can cold call they can call the list of all the people that they've sold properties to. If you say, hey, I'm looking for a mobile home park, or I'm looking for an industrial building, or I'm looking for this or that, and they sold a bunch of those in the past. It's really easy. I mean, hey, they get paid again if they make another sale. So why wouldn't they just call and say, hey, I know you have that building sold to you a while ago. It was a smoking deal. You bought it here. I could sell it at about right here. Do you want an offer? You open to sell. It's a good time maybe to cash out and call an exit or 1031 into the next deal. Who knows,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I know you're, grinding, working, just like mad. How do you find the kind of work-life balance? I know you have 2 little girls and an awesome wife. And so how do you help kind of manage that work life?
It's very simple for me, man. I work within the parameters of 9 to 5. If I go over a little bit, it's not past 5:30. It's Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm shutting it down, man. Yeah. So it is the most important thing for me. What I write down every single day of my life is I have to be the best husband, father, and leader. If you're not that, forget it, dude. Wife being number one, dude. If you have a shit relationship with your wife, you're going to suck at life, man, because that's your core. Yeah. That is your queen. You need to make your significant other happy as you possibly can. Go out of the way. Today, I'm going to tell you, my wife is down a little bit. We just moved to Greensboro. We've been there for about 2 months. All her friends were in Myrtle Beach. And I know I'm just sitting here thinking, and I'm looking up, what can I do when I get home tonight to cheer my wife up? She needs it right now. Yeah. And she would do it for me. I'm married way up, man. My wife is amazing. And, bro, you got to be good to your wife. You got to be good to your kids. If your kids are pieces of shit, it's a reflection of you failing as a father. Yeah. That's big, man. Oh, so dude, you need to pour into your fucking family. Shut it down. At dinner, do not get on the phone, no matter what. Just put it aside. Yeah. So, I think you just got to draw a hard line. Tomorrow. Bro, you got to draw a hard line and stick to that. Because like I said, all the money in the world, I promise you, if you're a piece of shit to your wife, if you're not present for your kids and your kids don't love you, nothing else matters, dude. The money ain't going to change a thing, dude. You're still going to, your core is going to be rotten.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to be good, do good, be good to people, you know, help people, take time. And I'm busy, dude. And take time to be on somebody's podcast.
Yeah.
You know, you're a great dude. I'm happy to do it. But like, you need to take time to give back too.
For sure.
People call me all the time, dude. And they ask, hey man, what would you do about this? What would you do about that? Now there are limits to that. There, you know, someone can abuse that. But if they call from time to time and they get stuck on something and you have the time and you're not right in the middle of something, give a little back, help somebody. No, because at some point in time, somebody helped you.
Oh, dude.
You know?
That's how it works.
Yeah, it works, man.
It's, you know, that's life, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, and that's like why this, you know, a lot of reason why this podcast is just to give back, you know, take these insights and give back to the community and because the community is just, I mean, you know how it is, man. You wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for just people being willing to just help for no good reason.
That's right.
Lend a hand for nothing. It's like,
that's right.
Really? Like, okay, cool.
I really feel like you need to be constantly submerging yourself in different podcasts, YouTube. I feel like right now more than ever, you have to stay on top of that. And then also, I feel like you need to be in a mastermind of some sort. I'm in Collective Genius. Okay. It's been really good for me. You should look into it as well. But when you're around a group of people and you go through it as a team, you can get insight, you can make a phone call, feel like, hey man, I'm kind of seeing this. What's your market like? And, you know, do stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that's a big one too.
Yeah. Be part of some community
of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be just as simple as like a real estate meetup that you go to in your community. You know, the deeper you get, the more value you get, the more not necessarily the more you pay, but you know, to get in a good one, it costs some money. But eventually, if you don't have any money and you want to do something, just go to the RIA in your local area and get involved in that, and you'll run into some good people.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. And well, I appreciate you taking the time to, jump on the podcast and really give your insights, you know, like what's, you know, kind of shaped your journey and also how you're planning to move into the future. I think a lot of people can take a lot of, you know, good nuggets from this and like be able to implement it into how they're going to possibly start their journey. You know, I'm, you know, never sure where people are at along the journey, but yeah, man, hopefully this changes, you know, somebody's perspective and some notes. Like it's really simple. It's just hard work, man.
Just hard work. It just gotta grind, man.
Yeah.
Just gotta jump in. That's it, man.
Yep. All right, you guys. Well, until next time, Christian, and this is Jacob. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.